As usual, there is a disparity in our heights. But hey, we both have blue. So I wanted to film today because I put makeup on today for no reason and I didn't feel like doing anything. So Adam was like, let's do another couples video. And he found us a tag that's all about like romance tropes and stuff. Just because, you know, we're a romantic couple and so we should do romantic trope tags. Logic! Alright, so I'm gonna have my Goodreads here and try to remember anything that I've read, but Adam can read us off the tag if you would like to do so.
It is simply RelationShipper book tag.
I'll try to find the original creator.
I don't know if this is the original, but I found it from Tree and Bree. It was posted 3 years ago.
This is an older tag, yes.
Alright, number 1. What's your least favorite trope when it comes to book relationships?
I mentioned to somebody, I don't know if this is for sure my least favorite. Oh, no, okay, I know what my least favorite is. When a character, usually the male love interest, is completely irredeemable, but then he's nice a little bit to the female lead and he's forgiven for everything. Like, up to and including war crimes, the murder of thousands, essentially being Hitler. If he's nice to our female lead, she's like, oh, but he's sorry. I hate that. And sometimes it's just he completely abuses her in horrible ways. And then later he's like, I did it for your own good. And she's like, well, if he had good reasons, you can make your enemies to lovers relationship thing work without one of them being an absolute asshole.
Number 2. What's...
Wait, you haven't answered it.
Oh.
You have to answer it. You can't just read the questions. I could read my own questions. I didn't bring you on here to read me the questions.
Oh. So I think, love triangles are, in general, my least favorite. Bad poly relationships.
A classic love triangles.
Like, well, we did the other video the other day, and it was like, it was all about the different types of love triangles, and I, like, hated them all. So it's not necessarily the classic. It's just, like, failed love triangles. Unless, like, they've succeeded in a happy, healthy poly relationship, I hate it.
Here on BookTube, that's the most common answer to this question. But Adam is new to BookTube, so he doesn't know all of the tropes yet.
Well, I'm not necessarily new to it, but I can sometimes agree with the popular opinion. Sometimes they're right too, and sometimes it's not just me who's right.
I have been seeing fewer and fewer love triangles being popular these days, so that's good. Like, newer stuff is leaning away from the love triangle, and unfortunately into my least favorite trope. Next question.
What's your favorite trope when it comes to book relationships?
It does say relationship and not romance, so I'm going to go ahead and say a very uncommon trope of the couple just stays friends and doesn't get together in a romantic relationship.
I mean, does that even count as a trope, though?
I don't know if it counts as a trope. Alright, a relationship trope. Oh, the grumpy one is soft for the sunshine one. That's my favorite. Giorgio is here. You can't see her really, though.
Giorgio.
She's not having it. She's not having it.
Not gonna be part of her video.
Your favorite relationship trope is when Giorgio comes and hangs out with you. Just let her see if she does it naturally. Well, there she is. Answer the question, Adam.
I don't know if this is a trope, and I don't know what it's called, but I know of 2 book series that do it, so that's enough, right?
You wouldn't let me get away with mine, but I'll let you get away with yours. Go ahead. What is it?
It's kind of destined lovers, but it's not just. It's destined lovers that also like go out and do their own thing successfully.
So like they're destined by like fate or prophecy or something.
By prophecy.
Okay, and but they go off and do their own thing, and then they come back and they get together.
Yeah,
okay.
And they're introduced together. They kind of maybe have feelings for each other. They go off and do their own things for maybe several books even, and eventually they get back together and maybe in the second series have gadgets of their own. Worship of the floof.
Worship.
Do I get to say the series that they were in, or is that a thing?
You can tell us what series. I don't know if that's a trope. I'm sure it is, but like, if anyone knows what that trope should be called, let us know. What series is it in?
So, it is, of course, in the Wheel of Time, because the Wheel of Time is like so big, everything is in it. The other book series that it is in is the Belgariad and the Malaroon by David and Leah Eddings. They don't actually spend much time together for most of the series until series 2, when they spend a little bit of time at the beginning of the series together getting giggity and getting kids, and then I think, if I remember, the kids get abducted, and I think she stays home to rule while he goes off to...
That actually happened in Redwall. In Matameo, which is the second book that comes after Redwall, their kids get abducted, and he goes off to rescue them while she stays back and takes care of things.
Is the ruler.
She's not the ruler, unfortunately. It's kind of the same plot, except for with mice and no sex.
Emperor Giorgio, what is our next question? What's your favorite ship?
I don't ship characters very often anymore. I'm not really finding anything. That's a bummer. I just don't ship people that much anymore. Shipping just isn't as important to me as a reader. Alright, it's cliched, but it is a little bit of a controversial opinion. Not that controversial an opinion. The Hunger Games series is behind me, and I'm a Kita. Actually, that could be their ship name. I like Katniss and Peeta. I don't like Gale. Fight me. Soft boys forever. He makes cakes, okay? Now, I am team asexual Katniss, but if I have to have either of the boys, it's going to be Peeta every time.
Alright. I could remember the people, but I couldn't remember their names. It's been a while since I read it, so I had to look it up. But, YT and Hero from Snow Crash. Largely because YT is a techie and also, like, quite skilled and competent. And I actually feel like their skateboarding machinations are written fairly well and remind me of Back to the Future 2. But anyways, I really enjoyed the book. What's a ship you'd like to third wheel with, and why?
I had enough trouble coming up with a ship that I actually liked. And I don't want to third wheel that one. That would be awkward. That would mean I was in the Hunger Games. No thank you.
I'm gonna go to A Wheel of Time.
Of course.
And...
While you're doing that, I'm going to look at my Goodreads.
Yeah, so I was initially thinking third wheeling with Avienda and Rand because they have magical powers, and, like, just hanging out and, like, taking advantage of their magical powers would be sweet. But the reality is like, Avienda and Rand, although they're, like, super powerful and can do just about anything with a power, I don't know as I would enjoy third wheeling with their personalities. So, I think a power couple in the Wheel of Time that I'd enjoy their personalities and still enjoy enough of the magical benefits, even though they're not as super overpeed as the other two, would be Andrel and Pivara. I think, like, I would enjoy hanging out and exploring and just, like, drinking and chatting with those two. And the magical powers that I could take advantage of.
Okay, I've thought of one. The main pairing in the Bone Houses, in fact, the only pairing in the Bone Houses, not only would I get to fight zombies in the Welsh countryside, and there's also a goat, but those two, like, could we perhaps form some sort of polyamorous relationship? Because both of them are my type. She's a kick-ass lady who could probably hurt me, and he is a soft boy. And, like, together... Yes, that is my ultimate combination, and I will be the sarcastic one in the middle. It will be great.
What ship that ended are you still mourning?
So this is a spoiler for Rock, Paper, Scissors, a thriller which was okay. I enjoyed it, but spoiler warning again, the couple that you are watching in the first part, I wanted them to stay together because I like their dynamic better. There's like a whole bunch of things with like marriage, and then he sleeps with somebody else, and then that somebody else becomes his wife, and then they're trying to repair their relationship. In the Scottish getaway where they're being hunted by wife number one, and I wanted him to stay with the affair partner, actually. I liked her better than wife number one, who seemed deeply unstable. And I think that was the point, but I didn't feel that was utilized very well within the story, so I think he was better with the affair partner. Spoiler over. What is yours, Adam?
Can I do a movie, or does it have to be a book?
Was it a movie that also had a book?
Yes, but the ship that died that I wanted to succeed to sail was in the movie, but not in the book.
Were the characters in the book? Like, could you ship them in the book?
No,
even though they weren't together?
one of the characters was not even in the book.
I mean, this is our tag, so, like, do whatever.
The book/movie is Starship Troopers, and in the book and the movie, Juan Rico gets together with Captain Carmen, his super smart colleague from high school that he's been pining after forever, but has been, like, she's been way out of his league forever. And in the movie, there's a character, Dizzy Flores, who doesn't exist in the book, but in the movie, she's, like, just down to earth and rugged and, like, gets Rico, like, she is Rico's type, and the two of them would have such a blast together and have so much fun and complement each other super well, instead of just always being like, I'm putting you on a pedestal because you're so far beyond me. But unfortunately, they're, like, just about to hook up and be a thing, and then she bites it. Eaten by a bug.
I hate it when that happens. Alright, next question.
Who was your first book crush?
Honestly, the one that I'm thinking of, that I remember the most strongly, just having, like, an immediate reaction to, is Numair from the Emperor Mage series by Tamara Pierce. The minute that he appeared on page, I was like, yep, that one. It's been a long time since I read those books, so I don't know if it was my first ever book crush. But
there we go. Found him. I think this is my first book crush. I could be wrong, because a lot of, like, I don't know, my first couple hundred books that I read are, like, kind of foggy. Like, maybe I crushed on somebody else, but this is the first one that I clearly remember. So it's the Belgariad. I read it the first time when I was, like, I don't know, 12-ish or so. And they have, well, Garion is growing up in his little childhood village as the hidden hero of prophecy. They're keeping an eye on Zubrede, one of Garion's childhood friends who grew up with him, and they had this, like, very descriptive paragraph of how, like, Garion finally noticed that Zubrede was growing up and beginning to develop, and, like...
It's a little bit creepy, actually, but...
I mean, as an adult, thinking back on it, yeah, it does seem a little bit creepy, but as a 12-year-old Randy boy, I remember pointing this paragraph out to a friend of mine and be like, doesn't Zubrede sound hot?
I bet you if we looked at it now, it would be such a men writing women moment.
Almost as... Well, I mean, it is a man writing a boy... ogling a woman for the first time, so, you know, yeah, kind of a men writing woman.
So we probably could write it accurately. And what's he staring at? Her boobing boobishly, let me tell ya. Alright, let's get on to the next question before this gets any more weird.
Alright, number 7. Who is your most recent book crush?
I don't really get book crushes anymore. These characters need to step up their game.
Hello.
Wait, okay. Can it be a TV show that's based on a book?
Well, you let me do a movie based on a book, so go ahead.
Then it's Lan from Wheel of Time.
Fair though.
If you have not seen him, what are you doing? My goodness. Like, there's a lot of very attractive people on that show, but Lan is just like, well, I'll just watch him. Like, can we have the Lan show? Also Lan.
So I think I also have to do Wheel of Time show version. And if I have to limit it to one person, it would not be Lan. Lan would be on the list, but not number 1. If I could, like, crush on a polycule and maybe, like, get in there.
Alana's the cute one in the green dress, right?
Yeah,
with
they
all
think
the chain imagery.
Yes, and her two warders, and they have that power move where, like, the 3 of them are, like...
What did I call it? I couldn't find a clip of it because I want to name it. I saw it and I was like...
Thruple goals, you said?
Thruple goals, yeah. I wanted to get, like, a gif of that and label it Thruple goals because, like, that moment was awesome.
If I could be part of a relationship, that would be my crush right there. If I had to do a single person from the show, though, Logain is actually...
Yeah. Oh, that's a very close second after Rand. Yes.
After Lan.
Lan, I'm sorry, not Rand. Rand, no, does nothing for me. And then probably Moiraine, the list.
Not Leandrin?
No.
Being the elves.
She's too waspy for me.
Yeah. Which book do you want to see adapted to TV/movie?
This doesn't necessarily seem to have to do with romance, but I would love to see Tamara Pierce books.
Oh.
I know that she has been approached, but she's very picky about who puts on her stories because she wants to make sure that it's done right. And my understanding is she's not been satisfied with anything that's been placed before her yet, so
Tamara
any of
Pierce.
them. And I would be happy with any of them.
You don't think you wouldn't have like a preferred one or a favorite
I mean,
one?
my favorite to read is Becca Cooper, but I don't know if that's necessarily the one that I want to see as a show.
And I think that one would be more difficult to have like an outstanding show.
Honestly, I think start at the beginning, Song of the Lioness series. I think that a show could actually flesh it out, because a problem that Song of the Lioness has, because it's one of her first series ever, very fast moving and kind of telly, and she's just like thing, and there'll be huge time jumps, and you're just expected to just be like fine with that. And I think a show could actually flesh it out a little bit more, and the overall story is really good. So I think that I would love to see a Song of the Lioness turned into a TV show.
I'm gonna have to steal yours and word for word, actually, because I was like, do I want the Becca Cooper series? But Becca Cooper, I think, would be like a knockoff Carnival Row.
It would feel very derivative of a lot of shows that we're already getting right now.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Whereas, like, Song of the Lioness is distinct enough, even with, like, the glut of fantasy shows that are coming out now.
Yeah.
It would still be distinct enough.
Plus, canonically, Alana, the lioness, is short and curvy. So we need more short, curvy girl representation going on.
Mm-hmm. What characters have broken your heart?
I guess it doesn't have to be romantically.
Okay, Hermione broke my heart. Why the fuck did she get with Ron? What the fuck? Sorry, you might have to beep that out, but really.
I don't even care enough about Harry Potter to be mad about who paired up in that.
Was there a Redwall character that died?
There are lots of Redwall characters that die. Redwall characters die left, right, and center. And my brain keeps being like, a character broke your heart by, like, being really stupid.
Broke your brain.
Yeah, well, I'd be, like, really hoping they're gonna go one way, and then they choose the stupid option instead. And I'm like, no! You were almost the chosen one! This is such a, like, cop-out answer, because it's not a good answer, but, like, characters don't generally break my heart anymore. Character that disappointed me by being too dumb to live. And that is going to be Summer from the Cellar, which we did as a read-along. And
Too dumb to live.
Summer was just...
Oh, was that the one that was like...
Yeah, she was trapped in the cellar. Yeah,
and trying to
and
escape.
she was like, what is this bad man doing? As he's like actively murdering someone. She's like, is he murdering someone? Yes, Summer. She broke my heart by being the dumbest, densest character you've ever met in your fucking life.
Do you prefer the characters to get together real quick or have a slow burn?
I like a slow burn, but I would honestly like to see more characters in established relationships. So, like, if they get together real quick so that they can be in an established relationship through the rest of the book, I'd be on board. But usually what happens is they get together real quick so they can have arguments and fights all the way through the rest of the book, and I hate that. Do not want. So if I have to pick either the fighting the whole time or the slow burn, I'll pick the slow burn.
So I'm very similar with a very similar caveat. I too would prefer a slow burn. But my caveat is I hate the slow burn where the two of them are just idiots and don't communicate with each other. So the whole slow burn is contrived conflict.
It's just like wandering around like a couple of dinguses bouncing off of each other, bouncing off of the wall.
I hate that.
What's the next question?
The final question.
Ooh, we made it.
Do you have a type when it comes to your ships?
Kick-ass girl and soft boy. 100%.
I definitely enjoy a kick-ass lady who's confident and independent on their own. But, like, I started thinking about this when, I think it was one of the earlier questions, is what got me thinking of the Belgariad and the Malaroon and Sinedra and Belgarian. And thinking of Sinedra, which is, like, it wasn't my first crush, but was one of my first ships. Thinking about a lot of the characters that I have shipped or have crushed on, many of them have been the tiny wayfish one. And so, like, kick-ass, but also, like, tiny, I guess. I don't know.
So me?
Yes, actually, is where I was circling back to. I apparently have a type, both in literature and life.
Are we not the embodiment of my favorite type?
I am a bit of a soft boy.
Exactly. Thank you so much for watching. You guys all know that all of my social media is in the doobly-doo for ease of your clicking, including links to my Patreon. I realized the other day that I used to write my patrons' names on an index card so I could read them all off at the end of the videos. Now they take up an entire notebook page, so that's really exciting, and I'm super happy to have all of those lovely, lovely patrons. And they help me self-publish my own books, as well as just kind of help us financially in general lately. You can check out my books for sale now on Amazon. One of them's a romance, so you might have a new ship all your own. That's right. And it's a kick-ass lady and kind of a soft boy, so... Are you ready for the goodbye, Adam?
Always ready.
Thanks everyone for watching, and I'll see you next time with whatever it is I happen to be doing next time.
Bye!
Join me, and together we can rule the galaxies.
My 96, Unicorn Jenny, Callison, SV, Celia, Taya, Alyssa, Rita, Deborah, Afra, Melissa, AC, Swamp Goblin Waifu, Ashley, Sophia, Merween, Kit, Hidden Glade, Light Julie, Belle, Patrick, and Sophie, Ray, Shelby, Zaire, Jesper, Rennie, Scribbling Cat, Savvy, Jenny, Amanda, Lisa, and Sarah. Wise men say only fools rush in, but I can't help falling in love